is Joshua. Yesterday, I observed the news, the Nigerian news, and I noticed and saw something about them demolishing IDP camps. I understand that as a country, we are trying our possible best as regards to the information given to us by our leaders, that we are trying our possible best to handle the issue of insecurity. I also understand that as a country, we have had issues, especially in this administration, where insecurity has affected a lot of things. For example, the vandalization of some of our smaller power grids all over the country. But I would like to say something. The fact that people are tagged as terrorists is because something has happened that they don't agree with, or a certain level of agitation has occurred that has affected their way of thinking. Now, I would also like to state another fact. I personally don't believe there's anything like terrorism. I just believe that terrorism could be like what, because I believe there's something called war crime, yeah? But I don't believe there's something called terrorism because I believe the only reason why we have terrorist groups are because these people do not actually believe in certain policies that either their government come up with, and they feel that they want to use force, like a large amount of force, to show and prove that no, that is not the way. I'll just call them violent protesters. Now, or rioters. Now, why am I bringing up this issue of terrorism? We say we are battling insecurity and we are busy chasing people out of IDP camps. You need to understand that the reason why we have a formation of IDP camps is because of the same insecurity that has occurred in certain areas in parts of the country. Explaining that means that places that the groups like the bandits or the Boko Haram have decided that they have conquered to implement their policies in those places. Now, they have chased out the inhabitants of those places. So, the people that were displaced from illegal occupation of their, areas by certain organization or certain groups came to Abuja or came to certain places in certain states in the country, and they were granted a camp, a place, or places where they could say, okay, this is where you can stay, this is where you can live till we resolve the issue of insecurity and the issue of your displacement. The Nigerian government did not create like, okay, let's create a camp with block buildings or that. What they did was they just gave them land. So these people just came and built batches. So batcher is like when you're using bamboo or wooden sticks with a little bit of nylon or something like that, bags, to create a house with zinc or thatch roof. That's what these people are living in. They left their businesses. They left where they were living. It's not like I said they were staying in mud houses. Some of them would have, been a little bit okay where they were, and they were displaced and sent to IDP camps to live, refugee camps to stay, till the government could be able to resolve wherever they are coming from, the displacement issue. Now, we have a minister who has decided that the best way to handle this is by what do you call it, evacuating such camps or total clearance of such camps. Now, what that does is it can agitate a group of people, and they can decide that okay, they do not want to what they call it now. They don't want. No, they're not doing this. They want to no. They want to fight against this sort of oppression. You see, because the reason why you have groups like Boko Haram in Nigeria, I believe, is because they didn't accept the policies that were brought up then. You see, everybody has what they believe is right. And if some people don't accept it, their brain doesn't tell them. That's why we have education, but not everybody has that level of education. Their brain doesn't tell them, okay, why don't you see a more peaceful way to, what they call it, handle this thing? No, what their brain says is you need to use fire for fire. Now, that has already been established, the Boko Haram insurgency group. And for a long time, we've been dealing with them. Now, you're moving people from the IDP camps out. You're not literally moving them to say, okay, we've created like a camping environment, or we've created like a place. Okay, we built some structures. You people can stay there for the meantime. When we were able to settle the issue of insecurity, we now, you know, we now say, okay, let us move you back to where you belong. We'll do like checks to make sure that okay, you legitimately belong there, or like just to make sure that you reduce the level of insecurity. Because if you pursue people away, if people are displaced from where they're staying, and then you now like what they call it, give them a place and say okay, stay there, and then you now come at a later time and now pursue them from there without giving them a second option, or creating a second option. It affects a whole lot of things, because at the end of the day, what you do is you create a means for an organization to prop up, or a group of people to decide that this is oppression, and then they now want to like retaliate against the government, and then you will not tag them as terrorists. You won't understand that it is your decision that led them to now embark on that path. So the reason why I'm doing this video this morning is because I'm using this medium to send a message to the minister, the FCT minister. Sir, I respect you as a person, I respect you as a politician, but will it be possible if you can create a form of environment, or a place? Abuja has a lot of lands, or even if it's not Abuja, just somewhere that okay, it's close to a barrack where these people won't be feeling threatened. Nigeria has money. Just build it. Just build something. You understand? You can build something that you don't have to spend a lot of, because that's the problem. If you embark on this project now, you say okay, you're going to spend a lot of money to help with this. No, you just build something, and you can say okay, these people, this is where they will be staying for now. These buildings that you can create can be used at a later date for something else. Just create something, even if it's single rooms, so that they can stay there. And then you can say okay, in the next 8 to 10 years, or in the next 5 to 6 years, the issue of this will be solved in your place, and then we'll move you back there. It's just a suggestion, because if you pursue them away from where they're currently staying, the older people might look for, because they're tired, they might say, oh, let us find another place to stay. But then the younger people, you see, the way the young generation thinks here, especially the new upcoming generations, is that they believe that everything should be provided for them. Most of them work to generate income and all that, but some of them just believe that if they are suffering, you shouldn't, as the government, you shouldn't pressurize them the more. So when you do this, you're making them feel like they are being oppressed, and thereby it breeds what they call it hatred, it breeds aggression, it breeds agitation. So I believe that we should find a way to what they call it create an environment for them, create a place for them where we can say, okay, even if we're going to like remove you from certain aspects in our states, or and this message is to all states in Nigeria, in our states or to the okay, we'll now say, okay, this thing we're doing, we're going to create like camps. So every state can have like two or to five or six camps that can contain at least minimum of 100 people. And once you do that, you should understand that this is a future investment, because once we successfully solve the issue of displacement, so once we say, okay, we've taken back those towns, those villages, those rural areas, those local governments that so-called terrorist groups have collected, we can now send them back to where they're coming from. This is just my take. I really do believe that if we can find a way to walk around this, it would greatly benefit us. Let's not do something that would affect us in the long run. Let's do something that would make everyone in Nigeria be able to cohabit and live in peace. Because the truth about the matter is, I've noticed Nigerians, once something affects them and they do not like, they feel oppressed, the next thing, most like 50% or 30% of them say the next thing is to go violent. When you're trying to reduce insecurity, you should take decisions that would not affect the what do you call it, the future. You understand? If you say, okay, we're trying to reduce the issue of robbery, we're trying to reduce the issue of carjacking, we're trying to reduce the issue of all this, don't do things that would enable or enhance those things to happen. That is my take on this. Thank you very much. You can see this video on my YouTube channel. You can also see this video on TikTok. I'll attach everything there. You can also see this video on WhatsApp. You can also see this video all over. So thank you very much and have a nice day today. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.